tape doesn't lie. So what did it show you when looking at yesterday's game?
Well, unfortunately, we didn't play that well, and with 6 minutes to go, it's a 2-point game, and so those are hard because when there are some things that you could have done better. At the same time, I always say when you look at a couple stats to evaluate the effort that you played with, and for the second straight game, we out-rebounded one of the best rebounding teams in this league. We just had some breakdowns on defense and offensively, not able to get into any type of rhythm in terms of being able to score in the post on a consistent basis or moving the ball on the perimeter. Our turnovers in the first half really hurt us. And then, kind of a cold shooting spell in the second half was the things that did us in. And, again, they're a very good team now. They're, 2 last-second tip-ins away from being 12-4 in this league. So you got to learn from the things that you didn't do well and hopefully keep tightening those things up because we got a big week in front of us.
You mentioned big week. I know one of the stats I know you look at, correct me if I'm wrong, but is opponents' field goal percentage, right?
Yeah.
And I know throughout the year, for the most part, Miami's been in the top 20 in holding their opponents not well from the floor. What do they do successfully, and in turn, what do you guys do?
Well, the one thing, it seems so long ago that we played them, and at that point they were kind of under the radar to everybody else except us at that time because we knew how difficult they are to score on, and they held us in the 30s, in terms of field goal percentage. We have to do a better job of being more aggressive with the ball, taking shots when they're there, not having any hesitation on that. And just, what you have to do against them is you got to make some shots. And the teams that have been successful or have had some success against them both shot the ball well. Wake Forest shot the ball well. Virginia lost a close game at Miami and shot the ball. And, they got some guys that can make shots, so you have to do that. On the other end, our defense against them was pretty good. They didn't have one player shoot over 40% from the field other than Brown. Brown goes 9 for 11. But I said after the game, if you help hold Kaji to 13 and Scott to 7 and Larkin to 7, you probably feel pretty good about your chances of winning the game. But they had a career night from Brown, who's a good player. So you just have to be really solid on defense because they can hurt you a lot of different ways. And there's no question Larkin is the key to that team. He's the engine that makes the whole thing run.
Where's the addition now, Reggie, coming back to that lineup?
Well, what's funny, it's kind of more of the same. Gamble was playing so well early that I don't think they skipped a beat. I think what happened was those first couple games that Johnson wasn't there, all of a sudden Gamble was thrown into the mix and maybe wasn't mentally ready or the rotation got, skewed up a little bit, so they struggled. But since then, again, they've lost on the road at Wake Forest and lost in just a tremendous game this past weekend at Duke, and Duke needs a performance of a lifetime in order to beat them. So, there's no question about it. They're one of the top 5 teams in this country. No, there's no. I don't care where are they in the rankings this week.
I think 5.
5?
I think so.
Yeah, they're a team that over a 3-weekend period could win 6 games. There's no question.
And they actually played pretty well when Gamble was the focus when Johnson was out. He showed that he could be a big part of that team.
Well, yeah, there's no question. And in some ways, they're able to do some more stuff with Gamble out there. He moves a little better. Offensively, is able to get some more movement for their team offensively. So he's a big part of what they do. I think the other night, Johnson played only maybe 14 minutes. It's a pretty good luxury to have when you don't have to play Johnson and still be a very, very good team.
On the road against a team that you said can win it all, trying to prevent them from winning the league championship. Would a victory like this be a signature win for this program this year?
Oh, yeah. You play in a top 5 team in the country to win on the road. And we've played good on the road 2 out of the last 3 games. So, again, in this league, I mentioned last week, if you're too busy looking at the last game or looking at the following game, you got to concentrate on today. We got to get better today. We got to tighten up some things, especially on the offensive end, taking care of the ball, because you can't have turnovers against Miami because there's they got so many scores in the open court. You got to really do a good job of that.
course, Larkin's one of those jet quick guards that gives you some problems on defense.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, is that someone you'll have to, put a couple different people on?
Well, I mean, he gives us problems on both ends. So the first thing was on defense. He's cat quick and causes havoc by leaving his man and doubling down and playing passing lanes and pressuring the ball. Offensively, as I said, he makes the whole thing go. He's in complete control of the game. Either he's scoring or he's getting someone a basket, or like in hockey, he's creating the action that next person's going to make the pass to get a basket. So, if in my opinion, if you looked at who had the best season individually in our league, it would be Green from Virginia Tech. If you're looking at maybe the most valuable player, then it would be Larkin. So that's pretty high praise.
You mentioned the other day that you're a different team when Daniel's looking to score like you did against Maryland, I guess. Yeah. How is the team different? What do you see out of him when he's playing like that?
One primary of his baskets are going to be high percentage shots. So, in addition to that, when he's being aggressive to score, now he demands help.
Right.
And so when he demands help, we're pretty good when we're able to get the ball inside and then kick it outside, reverse the ball, make the extra pass, or penetrate from there. If we have to play on top of the defense all the time, we just, at this particular point, don't have the ability to make enough plays offensively.
When he's, ask you, is it his personality thing that's part of it? Is it that he's not someone that I need my shots, or is it something different that prevents?
It's just he's an unselfish kid in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he's an unselfish kid in general. I don't know. I haven't done a Freudian study on him in case of when he was 6 years old, if some coach told him not to shoot so much or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he's just, and he enjoys passing. He enjoys, and again, that's a fine line. And that's a fine line, and we're moving in the right direction. You know what I mean? We're moving in the right direction. He's much more aggressive and assertive than he was last year. And that was worlds apart from where he was the year before. So we just need to stay on this same continuum, and he'll get there.